trust. They got to be able to trust me and other coaches. I got to be able to trust them. And these guys right here, you know, a lot of times coaches, a lot of times when you're dealing with teenagers, you're dealing with an alien sometimes, you know, so to speak. But these guys are very level-headed. They get it. They understand. I couldn't do it without two like these. Expectations. A lot of people keep saying going to 5A, and then they got that funny little laugh going too. I don't know. You know, I don't know if it'd be any different for New Hampshire going to 5A, 3A, 4A. We come from non-regional, so it's going to be new anyway. I talk to the kids all the time about, you know, we get one team to coach, that's our team. You get one team to play for, that's your team. And that's what we try to focus on. We're going to represent ourselves well. We're going to represent our mamas and daddies well. We're going to try to grow as young men, more than football players. And I just think if we'll do those things, the scoreboard will take care of itself.
We just always try to do our best on Friday night. I'm excited about this group of kids. They're a bunch of high character kids that work extremely hard in our season. So we're real pleased. The emphasis this year is the it factor. We've got to do those things that nobody else knows a thing about. So we're excited about the year. We look forward to kickoff on August 25th in this Bryan County. Thank you very much.
I've been at Groves for 3 years now, and every year it's like over half the team is brand new. I have 14 out of 40 players that played for me last season. So just, you know, it's kind of like another new year, and we're in the process right now just, you know, getting these guys to play hard. That's one of the things I stress every week with them is play hard and let's improve from week to week, and good things are going to happen. Strengths this year, it's tough. You know, coming off a rough season, 0-10 season, there's really not a lot of strengths, honestly. I guess if I had to pick one, it would be the dedication of the returning players during the summer. You know, we had 24 workouts, and I had probably 75% of the players made 20 out of 24 workouts. So, you know, there's a little bit of dedication there. I'm still looking for some senior leadership. Choppy would be one of them that's really taken the reins. In the 3 years I've been around him, he's missed one summer workout. So, I mean, he's definitely dedicated to the program. You know, and I just need, you know, we've got to get these younger kids really to buy in. Weaknesses would be inexperience. I have 3 starters on offense returning from last year. On defense, we have 4 starters. During the off season, I lost some kids to grades. I lost a few to transferring. So, you know, it's going to be a totally new team this year. But, you know, I tell the kids we're not going to make excuses. We're going to work with what we have. This is what we, you know, like Coach Richards said, this is your team, and we only get one team to coach. So, you know, that's what we're going to go with.
DJ Cone, he's one of our seniors, which is, I guess, one of our weaknesses right now. We don't have many seniors. We have 7 seniors, DJ being one of them. DJ led South Georgia in tackles last year with just over 160. He also had 3 sacks, 15 tackles for loss, and an interception. One of our negatives from last year is that we lost Jeremy Wilson, who signed a wrestling scholarship to Coker College. He did have 2 football offers, and he chose to go on and wrestle, which is great for him, but you know, we're really going to miss him. Positives were we started 16 sophomores and 2 freshmen last year. And when I took the program over 2 years ago, it's my second year, we had roughly 20 kids in the program. Now we have over 80, which is great. It's hard to dress them all, but it's a great problem to have. A lot of young talent. This year's outlook, I was asked to talk about rivalries. You know, with us being a program that we've only been around as a varsity program for 3 years, we don't have a rivalry. Every game's a rivalry for us. We are usually everybody's homecoming, and that's something we look forward to as a team. It's a motivation for us, and our kids are working really hard and very energetic. They have great attitudes, really hungry, coachable. We're really excited.
Junior this year. He's a 2-year starter. He's been through the fire. He's grown up a lot. He's had a lot of success, but also he's learned that position right there. You get a lot of praise at that position, but you also got a lot of pressure and a lot of heat that goes with it. And
I'm extremely proud of him. He's done it very well. But I've told him and the other guys on our team that, that are young, we were young, we have been young, that I can't tell everybody he's just a sophomore anymore. Now he's moved into a more leadership type role. So the expectations are high. He's done really well for us. I'm really on him and the rest of the upperclassmen to be more leaders, better leaders, I guess. And that doesn't necessarily mean you got to talk more, but it's just in the action. And every coach in here will probably attest that they don't want to hear you say what you're going to do; they want to see it. And the better leadership the team has, including Jenkins, the better the team's going to function. It doesn't take a Bear Bryant to figure that part out, but it's true. It's not just coach talk. As far as Jenkins goes, we're just like every other team in here this year. Right now, at this point, everybody's undefeated. Everybody's got the same amount of chance to win a region championship or a winning season or whatever. My philosophy is and has always been, and it was taught to me, I have to worry about Jenkins. And I have a full-time job trying to get Jenkins prepared to play. I don't really, and Sauce will tell you that I don't really talk a lot about other teams because I'm busy trying to manage my team. If I can get my team to perform the way they are capable of performing, I think our chances are pretty good. But at the same time, if we're worried about other things and other teams and things that really don't matter, then, I really believe anybody can beat anybody. So our challenge as coaches is to get what we can get out of our football players. And I've heard coaches mention going to class. That's what we expect them to do. Pass their classes. Make B's and A's instead of C's. He'll tell you that's what we expect them to do. Stay out of trouble. Make good decisions. That's all part of the sports and football philosophy. And these guys are taught that, and I'm pretty hard on them in those kind of areas because what we try to teach him is if he's not prepared to play, he's not only letting himself down and the coach down, he's letting his teammates down. This is a team sport. Some strengths. We had a lot of people come back with varsity experience. We had a ton of sophomores that are now juniors this year. What did we lose? Everybody knows we lost Arkeem Bird, and if I could have kept him, I would have. But he's at Wake Forest now, and just like every year, there's a group that leaves and a group that comes back and a new group that comes in. And that's the great thing about high school football. It's the next person up gets an opportunity to be that leadership role.
Our weaknesses, everyone knows our special teams. We try to focus on that. But I think our guys at this point have become restless. We don't have a scrimmage game this week. We don't play until next week, and we play Bradwell. And it's hard a lot of times when you're playing against your peers to keep that competition at a high level that we expect as coaches. So we'll be able to judge more better our weaknesses and our strengths once we play Bradwell. The other thing we try to convey to them is this. My philosophy has always been this. I want to teach something, I want you to learn as a player, something that you can use 5, 10, or 15 years from now, that you can't relate just to football. And I'm proud of the guys who did return because they recall some of those principles we talked about last year. Last year was my first year at Johnson High School. And for them to return and recall some of that and to apply that to their work ethic and the tenacity about getting things done, because I'm a stickler about being on time and they had to get accustomed to that. I'm proud of them for that. And I kind of want to see, once the season starts, how that develops on the field. Kiani has been very instrumental in getting that started with the seniors. And through fault of my own, we really didn't see what his strengths were until the Islands game. So I'm going to use him as much as I can use him, and we just want to see what happens. Again, thank you for having us.
I guess our strength this year is that we're returning 8 starters on offense and defense. And I think the biggest thing is that our freshmen and sophomores that were playing as freshmen and sophomores with varsity players are now juniors and seniors. And one thing you cannot teach is how physical and how it gets in the heat of the moment in the game. So this year, we feel the actual maturity of our kids will take us a long way. We've always been able to play with guys for a quarter or two but entering into the third and fourth quarter, conditioning, maturity, and those type of things come into play. We have a strong cast of seniors. We have 15 seniors this year, and we're just looking forward to the season. As I say, as we go as high, Rasheen leads us. We have a young quarterback. He's entering his third year, Desmond Brinson, and we're expecting big things from here. Other than that, we're, as we say, we have a region of Savannah teams outside of Southeast Bullock. And when I look at the region, I think it's wide open. You know, we have some teams that have been winning, and they're up at the upper echelon right now. But when you look at the overall region, as Coach Adam said, you know, we're all starting off with no wins and no losses. And I think it's anybody's ball game because anybody can get beat on any day.
Zach here is he's a senior. He's a leader for our football team. He's a staple of our defense. He's inside linebackers. He's a hard worker, and he's also basically a coach on the field for us too. He helps make sure that everybody is focused and doing what we need to do. And having guys like that part of your program can be huge. It takes away a lot of pressure from the coach trying to get kids to focus, pay attention. We have guys that are seniors that take a leadership role such as that, and those guys don't have to answer to that if they're not behaving correctly. One of our things that's happened at Windsor Forest has been really good for our program is the dedication we put towards the weight room. We really push weight training hard. It's one of the staples of our program. It's something we take a lot of pride in. We max out every Friday. I mean, we get after it. We have a lot of fun. You go in the weight room while we're lifting. It's an exciting time. The music's pumping. Kids are getting after it, pushing each other. And I think that carries over on Friday nights. You know, one, it's important. It helps prevent injuries. But two, gives my guys the confidence we probably haven't had in the past because based on some of our previous records. But, you know, we're excited about this year. We've worked hard. I think we've had a very good off season, getting ready for this season. Weaknesses, I would say possibly our biggest weaknesses are our youth as far as in our backup positions. I think as far as our starting 11 on both sides of the ball, we have some older, we got a lot of juniors and seniors, but the youth backing up, you know, it's a good and a bad thing because we do have youth I think are capable, but you know, it's just getting them to come along. But then, that's part of coaching. They're doing a good job doing what we ask them to do, and we're proud of them.